In the world there are many countries, many natural beauties, many famous tourist sites with different tourist destinations, will have its own highlights and pleasures. In today's video we will be together find out which countries attracted the most tourists before the COVID-19 pandemic on Earth. The numbers below are taken from the 2019 annual report from the United Nations World Tourism Organization. And you can rest assured about the accuracy of these numbers. Let's count down from 10 to 1. At the beginning of this ranking, we will come to the UK, with its tumultuous history, unique culture, and famous architecture. Let's learn a few things about this largest island nation in Europe, consisting of 4 countries: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, located in the west of Europe, in the Atlantic Ocean, and with a population of nearly 59 million people. The UK is one of the world's leading economic centers, with a total GDP, is also always among the top in the world. And out of that huge total GDP, the UK's tourism industry contributed more than $17.2 billion. According to the World Tourism Organization statistics, in 2019 there were 39.4 million of tourists come to the UK, and one of the most popular places in this country is the foggy city of London, the capital of London, located in the southeast of England, on the banks of the River Thames. The beauty of this lavish and magnificent capital is like a castle in fairy tales. Someone once likened the Kingdom of England to the beauty of a lady, romantic beauty, and the capital of London is the eyes of that girl's mysterious soul window. Coming to London, we will have the opportunity to admire and visit the most famous landmarks in the world, statues of the United Kingdom, such as the London Eye, the world's largest Millennium Roundabout, the legendary Big Ben Clock Tower, Buckingham Palace, one of the most valuable in human history, Queen Victoria Memorial Museum and Albert Museum. In addition to the famous UK cities, it is also the place where one of the football tournaments attracts the largest audience on the planet, the most attractive football tournament in the world, which is the Premier League. It will not be an exaggeration to say that this tournament is one of the factors attracting tourists to the UK in general and England in particular, because every year there are thousands of football fans, even tens of thousands of football fans, thousands of hundreds of thousands from many countries around the world come to the UK to be able to follow live the top matches here, and are fans of the clubs. Most of the tourists to the UK are from other countries in the European Union, USA, and Canada. The 9th most visited country in the world is none other than Germany, one of the strongest economies in the world, and a part of the country's GDP came from tourism before the COVID-19 pandemic, the highest in history, with 39.6 million visitors in 2019, and generated about $58.20 billion in revenue, of which Berlin, Munich, and Frankfurt are the 3 most chosen destinations by tourists. In the capital Berlin, the tourism industry has an extremely large revenue of 11.5 billion euros and creates about 235,000 jobs for people. Besides, the city's rich are also extremely attractive to tourists by ancient architecture. Uniquely, talking about Germany, we can't help but mention the 100-year-old castles. Germany is the country with the most castles in the world. Each castle has a special shape and appearance. This castle of Germany always makes visitors wonder because of its beauty as well as its magnificent majesty. The most famous castles in Germany, such as Stepping Out in Fairy Tales, is a country famous for its rich and diverse traditional culture. Germany is considered the cradle and home of many unique traditional festivals. When it comes to the festivals of Germany, cannot fail to mention the Oktoberfest beer festival. It takes place in Munich and always attracts more than 500 million people flocking to the city to participate each year. In addition to countless other traditional cultural festivals such as Easter Carnival, the Festival of Lights in Berlin, the Pumpkin Festival in Ludwigsburg, the food is also a tourist attraction in this place. Germany is extremely famous for its meat dishes, such as sausages, cold cuts, or hams, its bacon. Friendly, affordable prices, diverse cuisine, unique culture are what make people remember the land of the Golden Temple. Thailand, the country in the 8th position, is the only representative of Southeast Asia to contribute. In this ranking, in 2019, Thailand recorded 39.8 million tourists, which brought a big change to the face of the country's economy, with white sandy beaches, golden sunshine, and islands. With thousands of archaeological sites, temples and monasteries, Thailand is an ideal tourist destination for all travelers around the world to explore the Asian beauty. This is also a bustling country, with many unique festivals that we may rarely find in any other country in the world, and especially for Western tourists, it is extremely unique, such as the Water Festival, Lantern Festival or Sky Lantern Festival. The nightlife in this country is also extremely busy, with a series of night markets and world-class shopping that are open until late at night. In addition to interesting places of entertainment, the people are friendly and hospitable. This land of tourism also has an extremely diverse Thai cuisine, not only famous local dishes such as mango sticky rice or pad Thai, but also most dishes from Asia, from China, India, Korea, Japan, Malaysia and Vietnam, to European dishes from France, Spain, UK, Italy, or dishes from America, Australia and Africa. In addition to Thailand's warm climate, is also a great place for tropical fruits such as papaya, pineapple, coconut, rattan, and durian to grow, and for their delicious quality, bringing in 20.2% of the GDP of the whole country of Thailand, and it is estimated that by 2032 Thailand will receive about 100 million visitors, proving why this country is ranked 8th among the countries visited the most on the planet. In the 7th place, which is a bit surprising, it is Mexico has long been one of the most popular countries to travel to. In 2019 it welcomed a record number of visitors, with more than 45 million people and revenue over $24.56 billion. The tourism industry has grown by 9.8% annually and created more than 4 million direct jobs and over 5 million indirect jobs, contributing 9% Mexico's gross domestic product GDP. Mexico is the ideal destination for vacation. There are many famous white sand beaches in the world, such as Playa Norte, Acumal Beach, Medano Beach. In addition, when coming to this beautiful country, visitors will swoon with the sublime architectural lines, imbued with Spanish of the Zocalo Square, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Since 1987, Mexico has ornate churches and all are bring its own stories with fairytale architecture, fresh colors, and beautiful interiors. Besides Mexico, and a country famous for its National Art Museum, with massive collections of history and art, when coming to Mexico, people not only have the opportunity to admire the beautiful natural scenery, but also have the opportunity to learn about the people and culture of Mexico. This is a country with a colorful culture, influenced by deeply about the history of formation and development of the country of Mexico, with a mixture of many diverse elements about the main ethnicity of the early interculturality, and Mexicans always been known for their friendliness and rich hospitality. And the next position is a country in Europe that is one of not many countries in the world that preserves a mixed culture of the East and the West, which is Turkey. The city of Istanbul, with ancient beauty and known as the European capital of culture, it is a must-see destination for all visitors. Istanbul alone has attracted 46 million visitors for this country. Turkey holds many monuments of human history type in general and Greek mythology, in particular, the city of Hierapolis, one of the UNESCO heritage sites. This is home to some of the best hot springs in Turkey, and is an ideal place for tourists to relax and unwind. Eastern Turkey is Cappadocia tourist destination with special rocky terrain, mushroom valleys, and underground caves below are considered the best destinations for tourism in this country. Popular activities not to be missed as a hot air balloon tourism. Turkey has a culinary culture that blends regions from Central Asia, the Middle East and the Mediterranean, so Turkish food has a variety of flavors. The people here are Muslim, but unlike some Muslim countries around the area, the people here are very friendly and hospitable. They always respect the differences in culture and beliefs, even the constitution of this country. Also, this is probably the reason why Turkey has become one of the most ideal destinations in the world. And now we will enter the top 5. Romantic and poetic has long been the desire of travel believers. Everywhere is a treasure of modern architecture mixed with ancient culture of a long time ago. Life and rich cuisine. Italy is always the country that makes people linger the longest in the journey to discover Europe. Italy ranks 5th in this ranking with 64.5 million visitors in 2019. And the tourism industry is one of the country's fastest growing and most profitable industries, with an estimated revenue of 136.1 billion euros. And what's so captivating is that some cities, Italy's famous reputation, that we must mention that Rome, Pisa, is the symbol of the Roman Empire in Rome, still preserves many works of historical value, such as the Museum of Roman Square, the Fountain Trevi. This arena Colosseum is recognized as one of the new 7 wonders of the world, where hundreds of thousands of life and death battles between martial artists and animals take place, entertain the Roman aristocrats in the past. Besides, there is the Leaning Tower of Pisa, city of Pisa, that has never lost its attraction. Every year Italy welcomes millions of visitors to this place to admire the famous works. With a strange and unique natural shape, Pisa is known as the City of Wonders, and because of its 20 ancient churches, many magnificent palaces and bridges over the romantic river. Italian cuisine is very famous throughout the 5 continents, and 4 pools and even more. Here we definitely can't miss pizza, spaghetti, or gelato ice cream. And next place, China is the 4th most visited country in the world with a history of thousands of years. China is one of the countries with a diverse culture, with many great architectural works that have going down in history. This place has captured the hearts of millions of visitors by the beautiful nature of Camp 2, like a fairyland, and many famous wonders of the 5 continents such as the Great Wall, the Forbidden City, and the Tomb of Tan Tui Hong, Phoenix ancient town, and thousands of other places. In 2019, there were 65.7 million visitors to China. Before the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, the tourism industry here developed very strongly, contribute nearly $1 trillion and GDP of the country, and is forecasted to usurp France to become the leading country in the world in terms of tourist arrivals in the coming. However, that is only a scenario without COVID. In addition to the famous monuments mentioned above, the prosperous cities of China are also attractive destinations for this country. Shanghai is one of the cities. Shanghai brings extremely interesting experiences, because not only is it a rich modern city, but Shanghai is also known as the Venice of the East, with skyscrapers, big commercial centers, busy and always busy, brightly lit. If Shanghai is the Paris of the East, then the Venice of the East is the city of Suzhou, which contains a beauty that is both romantic and poetic, making many tourists lose their hearts when they first arrive. Floating on boats along the canal, watching the shimmering red lanterns and old houses, fully admiring the beauty of Suzhou ancient town, is one of the most worthwhile experiences coming to the city. This long-standing Oriental cuisine is also the reason that many people mention it Chinese cuisine. Chinese cuisine is a delicate combination of flavor, color, taste, texture, variety of ingredients and processing methods to create unique dishes for each Chinese dish. All of them have their own meaning, expressing a certain philosophical thought of the Chinese people. The harmony of yin and yang and the 5 elements, the harmony of nature and people, of heaven and earth, of hot and cold. Famous dishes must mention like Peking duck or Chinese Sichuan tofu. Now, we will enter the top 3, that is the United States. The US has a huge area, the population size is also very large, almost as if it was something big, grandiose, as the United States. So is tourism, with a history of hundreds of years, the most diverse culture and countless majestic natural wonders. America has long become the dreamland of millions of people. In 2019, the US welcomed about 79.3 million visitors, and tourism has contributed to creating millions of job opportunities for people in the US. Owning large cities with magnificent luxury of bold original works, American colors to ancient cultural heritages, the country of flags really has it all to please any fastidious guest. One of the most famous tourist attractions in this country that we must tell, coming to be the city that never sleeps, New York City, is not only the most developed urban area, the most populous city in the United States, and brings a huge number of tourists with 14 million visitors every year. New York City has many famous landmarks such as the Statue of Liberty, Times Square and skyscrapers. New York ranks in the top 10 cities with many tourists. In addition, visitors can also visit Miami, the movie capital of Los Angeles, Las Vegas entertainment paradise, the world's leading amusement park, Disneyland, or the famous Hawaiian beach part, a large number of tourists come to the US from countries such as Canada, Mexico, and the UK. Top 2, with over 83 million visitors. Spain is the land of the bulls, the homeland of the passionate flamenco dance, is the runner-up of this ranking. Spain, full name, is the Kingdom of Spain. This is also an economic powerhouse in the world and in Europe. Coming to this country, visitors will have the opportunity to immerse themselves in the vast grasslands, to explore the majestic mountains, long stretches of beautiful or immersive beaches, and ancient cities with many unique architectural features. Can be said to be one of the reasons this country attracts so many visitors is because the people are extremely friendly and hospitable. The city of Barcelona is the largest city that welcomes the most tourists of Spain. It is also the home of the famous football team Barcelona. The city is located in the north of Spain, is a mixture of all of them. Must be the most beautiful of Europe, from modern architecture, to cultural services, to people. Night in Barcelona is very lively and sparkling. Music festivals are regularly held to attract guests. A lot of different experiences in Barcelona and Spain. You can sunbathe on the beaches, visit the Church Compostela and Sagrada Familia Church, are famous throughout Europe. Spain is also a country of bullfighting festivals that have long been a tradition and culture of Spain, until now still very vibrant and attractive many audience. And finally, the most visited country in the world is France, which is known as the country of love and romance. France has held the top position of this ranking for about 20 years and earned, attracting around 90.3 million visitors in 2019. France is also one of the top economies in the world, and the tourism industry accounts for about 9.7% of the country's total GDP. France owns 39 works that have been recognized by UNESCO as a World Cultural Heritage. It can be said that the magnificent capital Paris is the pride of France. This city is where the largest number of tourists in the country is 30 million visitors each year. What makes Paris' special charm is the ancient romantic landscape and mixed with the modern features of the perfect architecture and poetic lifestyle of the French. Coming to Paris. In Paris, we can admire the magnificent Eiffel Tower, the symbol of France, the Louvre Museum, where 35,000 works of art are displayed, including the legendary Mona Lisa painting by artist Leonardo da Vinci, and cuisine is also one of the highlights. The factors that make tourists want to visit and experience in this beautiful country: French cuisine, which is famous all over the world thanks to the art of mixing ingredients and the ability to decorate dishes very delicately. Each region has different specialties that cannot be found anywhere else. Besides France, famous for its foie gras pâté, breads, and 350 kinds of the best cheese in the world. Besides wine, it is also what keeps tourists staying. France is known as the land of wine and the main tourist attraction. As the #1 producer of the best wines in the world, France has almost everything to experience, all the nuances of nature, from white sandy beaches, to snow-white mountains, to rivers, peaceful villages, or immense lavender fields. Which country are you most impressed with? Please leave your opinion in the comment box, and now say hello and see you again.